Tree Week is a celebration of the forest, trees, and green spaces around us as a whole. And I personally think that all trees are awesome. But one thing that we as humans do really well is to compare things. And as a result, we have measured and compiled lists of some of the most magnificent trees on Earth. And we've had a competition of sorts to rank them. And today I want to spend just a few moments talking about some of the specifically amazing trees that we know of on our planet Earth. We typically group the trees that we measure into one of 5 categories. We think of the tallest tree, or the stoutest tree, which would be the tree with the greatest girth. We think of trees with the greatest volume of wood contained within themselves. We think of the oldest tree, and we think of trees as having the largest crown diameter, the most area that its crown covers. So to get started, let's take an imaginary trip to the golden state of California. California is the undisputed home of grand trees on Earth. 3 of the 5 trees on our list live in California. The first one of those trees is the tallest tree on Earth. It is a coast redwood with a fittingly amazing and regal sounding name, Hyperion. Now, Hyperion was measured at 380 feet 4 inches, a height which is almost hard to imagine for a tree. Myself living here in Kentucky, even our largest trees are not even 2/3 the height of that tree. So it's kind of impressive to me. The tree with the greatest volume on Earth that's been measured is a tree that, if you've ever familiarized yourself with lists of superlative trees, you'll recognize the name of General Sherman. General Sherman is a giant sequoia, which was measured as having a contained volume of 52,500 cubic feet. And to put that in perspective, that's the equivalent of 392,727 gallons. Like I said, these large trees are almost hard to wrap your mind around. The oldest tree also lives in California, and I will preface this by saying that measuring the age of trees is sometimes a very difficult thing to do. Just the nature of the way that trees grow, the fact that the only reliable way to age a tree is through core sampling, and that's not always feasible because of the tree's health or location. So the tree that I'll mention today is the oldest scientifically confirmed tree on Earth. It is possible there could be older. But Methuselah, which is a great bristlecone pine which lives in California, is measured and confirmed at an age of 4,853 years old. The absolute grandfather of trees. Now we're going to leave California to talk about the stoutest tree, and this is a tree which has the greatest girth or circumference of any tree on Earth. And the largest one that we know of that's been measured is a tree known as Arbol de Tulle, which is in Mexico. And it is a Montezuma cypress tree that was measured at 38 feet 1 inch, which is, huge. And an honorable mention for this would be a tree, and this is a tree which is slightly smaller, but in some ways it's a more impressive use of this tree. But there's a tree that was living in Limpopo province, South Africa, known as the Sunland Baobab tree, and this tree was 34 foot 9 inches before it split several years ago. But within the trunk of this tree, they had actually constructed a pub or a bar in a hollow portion of the tree. The tree was that large at the base that you could basically have a pint with your friends inside this tree. Finally, we talk about the broadest crown. And there is a tree, a banyan tree, in Kadiri, Andhra Pradesh, India, known as Thimama merimam, and forgive me if I mispronounce these, but it is a banyan tree. And if you were to measure the crown of this tree, it's 591 feet across. And that is a total area for this tree of 4.7 acres. Now, this banyan trees do have a peculiar way of growing. Their branches dip down, and where they touch the ground, they actually root, and you have new trunks. So this tree has thousands of trunks, but it is one tree. It's just supporting itself by being able to do this. Now, even though we know that these are the grandest of all trees, we also sometimes talk about the largest or most impressive of an individual species. And the American Forest Organization developed a list that they refer to as the National Registry of Big Trees. It has 870 species included in the list, and you're able to view the most magnificent or greatest measurement of that species in the entire United States. Kentucky actually has 11 national champions or co-champions on that list. So we have 11 trees in our state that are either the greatest of their species or they tie for the greatest. Now, the state of Kentucky does monitor its own list, maintain its own list, the Kentucky Division of Forestry. We have a smaller list, obviously. We don't have the same number of species contained just in our state, but what it does is it tracks the largest example of those trees, just comparing them to the ones in our state. I'm going to put links for both of these lists in the description below so you have a chance to look at them. And what you may find really interesting is that there may be a champion tree, either a national or a state champion tree, really close to you. I actually was kind of surprised. I wasn't aware of this until I found this list at some point, that the county I live in, Perry County, has the largest river birch tree in the entire United States. It's actually located at Buckhorn Lake. I wasn't aware of that until I found this, but it's really cool. So you may be surprised to find that you have a superlative tree growing near you. So while we're going to appreciate all trees this week, and we're going to find things that we enjoy and love about all of the green spaces and forest around us, there's nothing wrong with focusing on a few specific impressive individuals. Have a great day, and you all enjoy the forest and trees around you.